peripheral computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alright. I think that's about everything though. Let's get into it. Koo, hello Koo, how are you doing? Alright. New week, new page. You know how it be. Alright, that's us done. Lava, hello, hello, how are you doing, Lava? But yeah. Let's make that just a little bit bigger, I think. Maybe if we go up to 13. Because I think I'll finish off intermission using Sketchbook, but everything after that I think I'll do in what's its face? What's it called? Clip Studio, that's the one. Yeah. So yeah. Ryan, hello! I'm doing alright, thanks. I'm just chill. I hear you're doing a lot better. Really, really, really thankful for that. Sod it, it's fine. Many, many better. That is what we love to hear. That is what we love to hear. Let's see, we got the cheeky VPN on. Wait, no, it's an emote only! I was wondering why that was the case. There we go, okay, now we can turn that off. Lovely, lovely. There you go. I was wondering, because, like, you know. Slow mode is also on, I believe. Yeah, every 30 seconds. Let's just turn that off. Yeah. Sorry about that, Lava. It's just like every stream that I finish. You can now speak, of course. I can go out in public again. Taste is slowly returning. Okay, I'm glad your sense of taste is coming back. Because, like, you were saying for the longest time... Oh, goodness. Like... Nagit. You're saying words. You're just saying words and none of them are making any sense. Goodness gracious. What must they think of you? Oh, you finished a commission! Lovely! Yeah, I've got to do a raffle, Raffle Winner, I think, this evening. Yeah. Because, like, you know, obviously hit, like, 50 subs on the channel. And someone ended up winning, like a full body for it. Week 3. Yeah, honestly. I'm really glad that you got out of it pretty scot-free, that is. Yeah, certainly was worried for you. Definitely was worried for you. Okay, this is... okay. Alright. Hopefully that... VTuber is... Having to manage VTube stuff is really annoying. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah. Yeah, we're just chilling. We're just chilling. Oh goodness. I see you in Big Nevi. Now, unlike yesterday, I actually did some panel direction. So I'm not inventing panel layouts on the fly, which is good. Something like that. We'll probably refine it just a little bit, and we might make the neck a little bit thicker than the stem. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be a lot more productive than we were last week. Because we got less on. We know what we're doing. But yeah. Yeah. Go on. Oh, gay cat. Murphy's not a cat. What do you mean? Oh, I'm gay cat. Right, I see. I see, I see. How's Murphy doing? Is Murphy in VC with you, or are you just sitting there by your lonesome? Yoink. Something like that. Or we might make it a little bit closer. It really shouldn't take me like 3 minutes to sketch out a fork, but fuck it. We're spending our time doing the little things today. That's what matters. Something like that, because you got Forky McForkface over here, and then you got Fingy McFingy over there. Oh, in their server. Oh. Wow. Ah, I see, I see, I see, I see. Not the Maxwell Zentaliti server, but the Murphy pardon me. The Murphy Zentaliti server. I see, I see, I see. Can't wait till... Well, actually, I don't think I'll ever really stop streaming with the VPN on, just because of, like, the Twitch bot crisis that's happening. Where you've got accounts that are literally just IP logging you. I mean, that... How fucking shitty is that? Now we draw Fingy, because Fingy is important. We're on what, page 4? Yeah, we got this page and then one more page and then we're done. Something like that, I think. Nothing like that, actually. Absolutely nothing like that. What am I thinking? Let's get rid of this over here. Oh, Asa, hi. Hi, Asa, how are you doing? There we go. Alright, then we have to draw the 3 prefab. Did I really just do a sketch? Huh. Weird. Oh, also, Ryan, did you hear? Fucky, hello, how are you doing? Also, yeah, but Ryan, did you hear how, Netflix is releasing JoJo monthly? Yeah. So, I don't know how exactly they're gonna do it, but I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna drop, like, sections of the series at months at a time. Yeah, I have no clue exactly how they're gonna do it. But I imagine it's similar to releasing a series in one half and then the other half, you know? releases Stone Ocean anime listed for monthly release on Netflix. So would stream new episodes monthly. It is doubtful that Netflix will go with 1 episode per month. Instead, the streaming platform might release multiple episodes monthly. So like 3 to 4 Stone Ocean episodes each month, which would make sense. Like you get maybe about a couple of arcs of Stone Ocean each month, or like 1 or 2. And then that's spread over a couple of episodes. Because I reckon by the time, like, I reckon by after the first month we'll be pretty much done with the prison arc, or we'll be at least halfway through it. That's too little. You see, it's not too little, because, like, you have to realize that if they did it weekly, that would be, what, like 6 episodes a month? So you can just release your 6 episodes in that month, which really, really boggles me. I don't understand why they're going for monthly. I just don't think Netflix understands, you know, like, the streaming meta. Because, like, Disney does a pretty good job of, like, keeping their viewers, paying for Disney Plus by releasing episodes weekly. Like, the weekly model works, and I don't understand why they would think monthly is more profitable, but maybe they know something I don't. Name 1 month with 6 weeks. Oh, yeah. Come on. It's like 5 to 6. 5 to 6 weeks. Realistically, not 5 to 6 weeks, more so 5 to 6 duplicates of a single day. Get what I mean? So you can have like 6 Tuesdays or 5 Tuesdays if you're releasing every Tuesday. We'll just do Prefects, because that's his name. Oh, so is it... I imagine like 6 episodes a month, though. This, like, because 4 weeks means 4 episodes, you know, like 4 to 5 episodes a month. So something like that. I imagine that's what they're going to go for. So, for example, you and I, we can sit down and watch like an hour and a half of JoJo per month. Which kind of sucks when you think about it, but, you know. That's just the way that they've done it. I really think I would have been willing to pay for weekly. Actually, no, I wouldn't, but kinda. I reckon it would have been easier to get people to buy Netflix if they were releasing on a monthly instead of, or like on a weekly instead of a monthly basis. I don't know. Yep. Watch JoJo a month. Pretty much. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna turn out. By the way, speaking of JoJo, I am almost done with Steel Ball Run. I'm almost done with Horse Race across the United States to collect the body of Jesus Christ. Like, that's something that I've almost finished. Isn't that crazy? I mean, honestly. Anyway, I've been faffing around here for like way too much time. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do my forks, then I'm gonna do, Pardon. To harvest, pretty much, yeah. Like, Steel Ball Run is weird. Steel Ball Run gets really, really weird. Let's not do that. That's just the synopsis of the part, though. You think it's nonsense, and it is. That's just fine. That's just the way it is. It's kind of weird, but, you know. Ooh, cool. Welcome. I mean, you've been here the whole time. Oopsie. Oopsie doopsie. My bad. But episode 42, like the end of Stardust Crusaders. You're gonna like it, actually. Have they started fighting Dio yet, or are they just kind of like meh? Let's just chuck forks into here. I think I'm gonna do all my forks. That's going to be panel 3, and then I'll go on to prefects, and then I'll go on to Clives. There you go. Oh, that's the baseball. I get what you mean. I understand. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ooh. Yeah, they're basically just like having a sleepover at Dio's. That's all it is. That's all the fight in part 3 is. That's all it amounts to. Honestly though. Okay, I'm not this friggin' VR chat, not this. Ugh. Alright. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, the baby episode. Oh, Death 13 is freaky, honestly. Oh, you mean the Alessi fight. I get what you mean. The Alessi fight. Yeah, no, that one is actually disturbing. So you liked the Baby Dream one. Lallyho gets me, honestly. Lallyho is like the stuff of my nightmares. But yeah, with Alessi, like, ugh. Ugh. Really, really good villain, because, like, you hate him. But, like, ugh. Just, Rocky really just made a pedophile a stand as a user. I really don't understand. I know, right? There's so much. Like, 4 dogs die on average every episode in JoJo. Or at least it feels like it. I don't know, how many dogs do die? I have to, like, actually think about that one. Because you got Danny. You got Danny in part 1. And then a couple of more dogs over the series that just kind of appear to die. That's the sad thing too, is that dogs will just show up and their face is death. There were like 2 dogs in the pet shop fight. Has the studio ever been questioned about? I mean, it's one of the running jokes in the series. Like, for example, like, there's a couple, I believe. There's It Just Works, which is like a part 5 thing. There's Jotaro's hat, which is just all of JoJo. There's Araki being a vampire because he never seems to age. There's Araki Forgot because Araki will just bring up random things in his story and then forget them. There's a couple of funnies. And didn't realize you were still on JoJo. Oh no, Ryan. Yeah, no. I mean, like, look, how many series would we be talking about if we were talking about dog death? In Steel Ball Run, Danny is resurrected as a mouse, which is kind of cool. So there's not as much dog death in part 7. There we go. Eric, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? How much dog death is in the furry fandom? Not, well, I can only imagine of one significant dog death in the fandom. That kind of reverberated. But, you know. People live, people die. Sorry, that got really, really dark. Let's talk about something a little bit, well, I wouldn't say upbeat because, you know, something rather disturbing is happening here. Oh, this is a detail that I learned the other day. Ryan, you'll know this because of, like, you've seen part 7. No, not part 7, sorry. You've seen part 5. You've seen Golden Wind. You know the scene where Polpo, like, bites his fingers off? I learned this the other day, actually. You know that scene where he just, like, he noms on the fingers? What you'll notice is that he bites off his middle finger and his, 4th finger. What's the 4th finger called? Doesn't seem to have changed much since you... Yeah, no. Actually, no. No, we've done heaps. Let me show you. Oh, come on. Come on. Yeah. This is what we were working on last week. This is kind of like what it's all culminated to. And I've just got like these like images of food dye in water to finish off. Like these more abstract thingies over here. And then we'll be done with this page. But for this stream, we are working on a brand new page. So basically, like, we're going from the ground up. Going from the ground up. Also, hello, Monster Snakes. How are you doing? But yeah, this is an entirely new page that we're working on right here. And it's kind of disturbing, honestly, but, you know. I feel like it's a necessary introduction of tone. It's like, you know, the series has gotten grisly before, but, you know, now is where things start to really get, oh, this is where you really start to get deep. I think I might change the angle of this, actually. Good. Good. Oh wait, no, that's probably after, like, how I asked how you were doing. My mistake, my mistake. It's like, oh, things are starting to get real dark here. Good. I like having a dark series to read. But yeah. No, we're completely, like, we're starting a page from the ground up, Eric. So, yeah. Oh, another thing. I finished off Rickles und Mortimer the other night. Because, like, Lucifer Season 6 has started, I figured, okay, now is a better time than ever to restart the Netflix subscription. Potato. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Alright, forks. This is a rough sketch. Why am I spending so much time doing it? Something like that. Where are the fingies? Here are the fingies. We can do some fingies here. Oh dear. It's great to have you back, Furry Tunes. Always lovely to have you here. Q, did you say you could speak Spanish? Just curious, because, like, you know, I forget these things. Whoops. Because I think it was Crystal can definitely speak Spanish. I think. Hmm? Yeah, yeah, that's, probably should mention. Things are getting slightly dark. Things are getting slightly dark. So if you're a little bit squeamish about pain, I do apologize, but, yeah. Not Spanish, a tiny bit of ASL. I see. Cheat sheet, what were we doing? Picks up fork, pushes it against his skin, the tendons in his left hand are tensed, the right hand remains still and relaxed. Clive places the fork down as 4 little red spots remain on his right. Yep, there we go. I think I might just make all of this a little bit bigger. I might make the whole thing just smaller, actually. So I can fit in, like, more of the hand drawing. Because I want to drive home the point that, like, you know, your boy has a high tolerance to pain. Which is very, very a necessary point to drive home. Yeah, I do apologize. This is rather, you know, this is a little bit dark. If you are squeamish, do apologize, but, yeah, this is kind of a thing that's happening. There we go. I think that, we'll mess around with the hand to make sure it works, but that's kind of like what we're going for. Why do you ignore me? No, stop, Nitro. I was looking at my second monitor. Nitro. 11%. Good luck. In the spider hunt. What? But yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing, Nitro? Yeah, no, I had, what do I call it? I call it my cheat sheet, but really what I do is I write each of my pages before I consider drawing them. So I had that up instead of chat. So I do apologize for that. Then we can duplicate page 3 and then put it down here. Oh wow, I just noticed what's happening. Badass. I wouldn't call it badass, but I would call it... I mean, we have a term for it over here in Australia, hard yakka. It's like one of those olden bits of slang. But yeah, you would not be remiss to say that I do like myself a bit of body horror when I can fit it in. There we go. Oh goodness, so you're right, Nitro. I'm so sorry that you're feeling like that. Right, fork. Those are some amazing faces, goodness. But yeah, I'm really sorry for not noticing you earlier, Nitro. I do apologize. It looks like, I mean, honestly, it looks like you found yourself a rival, Eric. Oh my goodness, alright. There you go. There we go. I might change how I do this finger down here, but, you know. Aye. And then there's Prefect down here, and then he offers his bandaged hand to Prefect. I just gotta make sure that I draw it correctly. Scheiße. Oh, goodness gracious. Right, yep, sorry. I'm back now. I just have to tend to something. Drawing fingers must be mentally exhausting, as they never seem to look. Pretty much. I mean, you'll eventually get fingers kinda alright. The way I see it, there's two approaches to, like, drawing fingers and hands. You can try and draw them as realistic to life as possible, or you can try and draw them your own way. And there's a pretty good example that I like to give that can be found in JoJo's, and more specifically how Araki chooses to draw things. Because... which part of JoJo included... the first mention of Jesus Christ? Was it Ticket to Ride? No, it wasn't. But it might have just Lucy Steele on her own. Maybe. This is more of a point I bring up about like how Araki draws feet, but where are you? Yeah. Let's give a good example over here. Right. So like there are tiny things about this hand that make it different to like real life hands. It's a lot more structural, a lot more jagged, and a lot less smooth. Because I think where like people get it wrong with hands is they don't add enough detail. And so usually you try and rectify that issue by, you know, trying to add detail to like fill in the idea of a hand. Like this is a finger, this is a thumb. I don't know how a thumb is meant to be sticking out there. You know, it's just like the little things, but on a casual read through, you never see this. You go all the way to like, where's a good example of where he draws a foot? And go all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. Come on, come on. Nope. Next chapter. We'll get it eventually. We'll get it eventually. But yeah, like you'll have some fingers that are way too angular. Just like if you try and add structure to your to a hand, then like whatever. Oh, you're gonna go off? That's fair. There's specifically a point I want to make about how he draws fingers or like toes. Come on, where is it? Bruh, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Is it seriously not in this chapter? It might not be, actually. Don't tell me I went all of this way only to realize that, like, it doesn't have what I'm looking for. TLDR, draw fingers and hands the way you want to draw them. Because as long as you, like, stick to a structure, someone will be able to pick that out and say, oh yeah, that's a finger, or oh yeah, that's a hand. What do you mean, pregnant woman? Is it? Oh goodness, it's so weird. Oh, pregnancy is so crazy. Ay ay ay. Have you really paid attention to it? What, like the way that you draw hands, or like? I can certainly draw hands better than the way that I'm drawing them now. There's no, like, mistake about, there's no mistaking that. But I think the way that I draw hands is alright. Oh, poggers. Anyway. Back to drawing hands. Too much information. I could sleep without knowing it. Oh, goodness. You're right. Oh, also, big tip, make sure you're drawing next to a mirror, because it's like really, really helpful in case you ever want to hard reference how to draw a specific, like, you know, whether it's like a hand where you're like, you know, presenting yourself to the mirror, and then you can see like how on earth to draw a hand. Or if it's something smaller like facial expressions. Either way, really worth it. What you're not understanding, bitch, you don't even draw. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what Eric is doing or what Eric enjoys doing. But you know, I think giving out tips is nice. We'll think about bandaging this when we get to properly drawing it. There we go. That's fair. You know what? Drawing at work is kind of pog. Definitely a good place to like get your hours up to. Down and then curve. Down and then curve. Alright. Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, it does happen to be funny when you're like 8, when you're like 15, isn't it? And then you grow up and you're like, not funny anymore, innit? That's an interesting expression. My son, what clumsiness. Kinda cool, not gonna lie. Kinda cool. Right. Hands. How do you draw them? I don't know. There we go. Oh, did you know? That's a shame. Yeah. Yeah. Hands are very, 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 very weird. I would... Oh, pardon me. I wouldn't call them necessarily ugly, but they are very, very weird. They are the product of... I think, like, any structure that's, like, of importance to a creature is going to look weird. Even, like, animal paws have very, very strange structures. I've already tried drawing hands once. Yeah, it's not particularly fun. I don't know, like, I feel like the more you draw them, the more it grows on you. But, like, a lot of artists just think to themselves, oh yeah, I really enjoy drawing figures and things like that, but, you know, there's a whole other dimension of subjects for you to either draw, that you may not have initially considered, you know. I think it's a terrible waste to go out and say to yourself, I don't like drawing hands, so I'm going to avoid it as much as possible. That breeds laziness. Usually, whenever there's something that I do not understand, I'll spend some time trying to figure out how to, like, understand it. Because usually that results in better art. Sometimes you may understand it to the point where you don't want to even draw a one-to-one copy of it. You just want to draw a copy that works for you. That doesn't sound very cool, I'll level with you. I'll level with you, Furry Tunes. We might fix this finger up. Cody, how are you doing? I'm fairly certain I said that before, but, you know, just in case I didn't. How about, I have an idea. Two seconds have to fight back the demon, goodness. What is going on, goodness? You're getting far too chaotic for the stream. Far too chaotic indeed. Alright, I think that's a good enough hand to work off of. We can kind of make our way from there. The good thing is, a lot of these sketches are pretty much done, so we spent an hour producing 4 sketches that, like, could pass when we go to do line art. That's the cool thing. I might make all of these a little bit bigger, though. There we go. Something like that. We could work with that. Sweet. Fairy tunes, why are you being so chaotic today? Honestly, it's vexing me. Then we got prefix. We can do that. We can do that really quick, actually. Because not only can we do the sketch, we can finish it off at the exact same time. British children's... Yeah, they sure do.
Computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Why did you break your window? Why did you break your window, you chaotic little gremlin? Goodness gracious. Oh, alright, Koo. Take care. That's fair. No, it's alright. It's alright, Koo. Take care. Ah, boy. Does Eric do gutch? What? Ay. No clue what you're talking about. I've got no clue what you're talking about, furry tunes. Anyway. Ay. Voice is doing the hecking nope. Right. What shall we do? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, fuck that. Nope. Oh, goody. No. One day. Nope. We're putting that on to 1 week. Goodness gracious. Oh, I hate bots. Ugh. Yeah, we're turning off the alerts. Yeah, I'm removing alert box. What are you gonna do about it? Ugh, ay ay ay. Well, that was fun. Alright. Keep followers only on for a day. Because that's most of my viewership, which is good. Well, it happened to be the one time when everyone had left. Oh well. That sucks. Ugh. Fuck me, I hate having to deal with bots. Alright. Ugh. How long have we been going for? Right. Bulletbox is back, baby. I think I might just turn it. Well, I don't know how things work, but that's alright. Right. There we go. Ah, yes. Coming back after the after nuclear fallout. Yeah, kind of a rip, honestly, but you know. Anyway, we finished a prefect. Let's move him center panel. Yeah, he's in the center still. There we go. Any animal noses besides cats that you like? I mean, like, there are a couple of different cats' noses to begin with. Like, there's variations in the styles of cat noses. Like, for example, whoops, this way. But yeah, cat's noses. Like, there's differences in cat noses between, like, your typical, you know, domesticated feline, which is more so like this. You know, get rid of this down here, because, like, real cat's noses look more like this. Compared to, for example, sort of like a tiger's cat, or like a tiger's nose, or a lion's nose. Which is more similar to this, with like the little ridge at the top before it like goes down into like this style of nose. I think that's the style of nose that I draw who's its face Styles with, because he is a cheetah. He's one of the big cats. He's not got like a domesticated nose. Yeah, there's a couple of different styles of cat noses. Just like different, you know, muzzle shapes as well. But like any other noses, I mean, fox noses are boopable. Fox noses are super boopable. Yeah, we got the tie down here, we got the scarf over here. And that is done right there, practically. We got prefects, and then we got second prefect down here. Because the idea, right, what I'm going for is that I need to create a facial expression that looks simultaneously intrigued but concerned at the same time. And I think what I'm going to do is, like, slightly angle his eyebrows up. And maybe, like, make his frown a little bit more, more pronounced down here. Sort of like this. There we go. There we go. We've got, like, sort of confusion, but then you've also got concern down here. There you go. Drives you crazy in some fantasy anime that are too scared to do anthro cat girls. Just make regular cat girls with a tiny animal nose. I know, right? It's frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Who's it? Who was his face from, Who's the cat boy that, like, people mistake as a girl? Felix, that's it. Felix the femboy. Yep, there we go. This motherfucker down right here. What the fuck is this? Excuse me? Excuse me? Where is Nose? Nose is not available. Nose is just not here. Neo Scary Godmother. What the fuck is this? Felix Argyle. Alright. Let's look for that. Fucking hell. Scary Godmother Wiki. This is stupid, and I hate it. Feris. RE0. Yeah, let's have a look. Feris. I don't care. Arc 3. Don't number your arcs, dickweeds. Although he hides it through his actions and words, Feris has a severe view on death and values due to his job as a healer, leading him to hold those who no longer have any will to live in contempt from the bottom of his heart. From his heart. Goodness gracious, Feris. The hell is that? The hell is that for? He also hates weaklings because of his What is this character archetype? If you can sum up a character's personality in 3 paragraphs, you've done a shit job at writing. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be elitist, but like, come on. His whole personality is summed up in 3 paragraphs. Like, how many... Look, we gotta do word counts on here. How many words is that? How many words is that? 228. You summed up a character's personality using 228 words. Goodness gracious. That's either a shit wiki or or like a lackluster character. But that's okay. That's alright. No need to be elitist. Oh, apparently I got, like, clockwork. Maybe because I banned so many people. Ferris. Goodness. It's phenomenal to me that your personality section is longer than your history. No, I'm gonna stop gamer raging. I'm gonna stop gamer raging, cause like, fucking hell. Fucking hell. I make it a clear point to specifically write out as pages, each of my character's arcs. Or at least if I haven't even done that, I've at least thought it out to its eventual conclusion. Because, like, it's necessary. If your personality is... I don't know. I like writing complex characters. That's probably why I bring up an issue when personality sections are very, very short. Anyway, what was I doing? It's 2:47. How long have we been streaming? Well, who knows? I might actually end up finishing stream in a little bit. Because, how many pages have we got 3 panels left. We got 3 panels left, and then we can go through and actually sketch everything out. Characters to write are flawed. Alright, opinion time. So, yes and no. Characters can be flawed, but I think if your characters make a bunch of silly, stupid mistakes, then it can end up becoming annoying, and your writer and your readers might pick holes in your character. Like, for example, if they make a decision, if you, like, for example, if you're writing a smart character and they make a decision that wasn't as good at solving the problem than another decision would have been, then that's usually because you haven't spent enough time thinking about your scenario. I feel like characters, like, you can write dumb characters, but if you have like a guy in the middle, you wanted to avoid the perfect paragon survivalist. Yep. Yeah. Those decisions I would place earlier in the story. You know what? Fair. Fair. Because when it comes down to it, the last thing you want to see is like a really silly mistake. But if you do see if it's a silly mistake that your writers cannot anticipate, or like your readers cannot anticipate, then have your characters make that mistake, because like you can create drama due to the fallout of that mistake. But if your readers are, I mean, it's kind of like in horror films, how they literally see all of the decisions made by the protagonist and they think to themselves, what the hell are you doing? No irrational person would act like this. But where that's a joke in the horror genre, that becomes a point of contention when you're writing everything else. So I guess TLDR, your protagonists should only make mistakes if their outcomes will matter greatly. Or if they make silly mistakes, have them make them in a controlled environment. Because your main character needs to be capable more than anything else. And if you're depicting them making a bunch of mistakes along the way, it's like, what's the point? Why should I root for this guy? Why should I root for this dumbass? Foxhill, for example, it was going to be both the main character learning to trust others and also learn about their new form and sparks of magic, right? Yeah. And then obviously you can have like early mistakes that they can learn from when they go down, or like when they reach the conclusion of the story. But yeah, I think having a formidable protagonist is certainly necessary. If you don't have that, then you have a weak story, especially if your story is driven by the actions of the protagonist. Because ultimately, like, there is a point to be made about how real should you be if you're aiming for realism. Catalyst of the story is because the main character... Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a mistake that has dire consequences and leads to... and like sets up the premise for the story. But yeah. There's certainly a tricky balance to strike when writing your characters and, you know, writing how they make mistakes. Because if you write a character that makes way too many mistakes, you fall into the trap of producing a character that no person in their right mind would root for, because they're a moron. But if you write a character who never makes a mistake and every bit of misfortune just lands upon them, then you could produce a story where the actions of your characters are not determined by... Oh, sorry. Your story becomes boring. Because things that happen to your characters come outside of their agency. It's a tricky balance to strike. Right, Clive. Where are you, Clive? You're gonna be having the animal's eyes, Clive. I was rather intrigued about the killer's eyes from Steel Ball Run, and I thought to myself, what's another way of displaying a trait like that? But yeah, I think when I was writing, Chapter 1, looking back on it now, there are a lot of moments where my characters, or like when Prefect specifically, experiences misfortune that's not at his control. Which, you know, I think for like a short term, you know, fall from grace that's completely out of his control, it makes sense. Especially because then he's given a chance at another life. You know, yeah, he's given a chance at another life by Clive. But if I kept that up, especially up until like, especially like going beyond Chapter 2, because there's certainly a couple of things that I wish I wrote better about Chapter 2, but yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of stories that hinge around the idea of fate fall into the trap of, well, if my characters are predetermined to act the way they act, then my characters do not have agency. Which is why I've always hated fate as a, you know, as a mechanic in storytelling. I certainly think Loki, when I think of like, you know, nothing matters, there are infinite universes and infinite branches. But that stops up until the end of the series, which is good. That's like the one thing that I was really hoping would not happen with Loki, is that it would just end up crawling up its own arse. With the idea of fate and, oh, everything is predetermined. It's like, what's the point? What are the stakes? But thankfully they changed that at the very end of the series. Which I was very appreciative for. Very appreciative indeed. But yeah. Okay, so if a character wants to get from point A to B because point B has a MacGuffin, yeah. Versus the character is captured in point A and taken to point B and happens to find a MacGuffin. Yeah, pretty much. I'd reckon the second story, on its premise alone, is a lot less interesting than the first. But you know, there's ways of handling lack of character agency by forcing your characters to fight for that agency. Because I tried to think of myself, okay, what is the point of, like, the first 3 chapters of Felis? It's arguably, like, Prefect trying to find his place in this new world. He's basically just been thrown in the deep end. And now he has to try and fight for his survival, and, you know. But, what's his face? Yeah, arguably, like, you have Indiana Jones, for example. And that's literally, you know, starts off in, is it New York, or is it in Massachusetts? I don't remember. He starts off there, basically is hired by the government to try and find the Ark of the Covenant. That's an example of your first premise there. So, like, MacGuffins are fine. Look, that's also Infinity War, I'd say. The whole of Infinity War is the chasing after MacGuffins, and it's still an entertaining film. But yeah, I think if your character is placed in a position of lack of agency, they should always be fighting to try and find that agency back. And then your forces of antagonism will always be those who try and prevent your character from finding agency. That's usually how you want to approach it. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to think about narrative theory when you're thinking about your story. Because, like, when you don't think, you end up, yeah. Always try and find moments where either something isn't communicated clearly, where your character is making a decision that is like, less than optimal. And things like that. And there's 2 ways of handling that. Like, for example, if you find yourself in a position where your character is making a decision that is suboptimal, you can handle it in 2 ways. Either you can create an entirely new solution to that problem, or you produce an obstruction deliberately. And I think producing an obstruction is more easier, but it does have the downside of restricting yourself in the long term. Like, for example, the idea of pain split that's going to be explored in Chapter 4. The idea of pain split in Chapter 4 is going to be, like, very, what's his face? I had to really workshop it, because I found myself in a position where where I was asking myself the question, why should Eve be the one splitting her pain? You know? Why can't she just ask someone else to do it? And I think I came up with a solution to that on, like, an offshoot. Making systems is always fun, but, you know, always have to... I think systems that serve the story are the best. Or you could take the approach of your characters are navigating systems that are outside of their control. I don't know. Just, I think the main piece of advice I can give is whenever you observe a problem in your story, fix it. Because otherwise it's going to grow into a nasty, nasty child. That's not going to be worth your time. Right, what am I missing here? Was the thing that, like, even the person's blood type was similar? Maybe. Or... I came up with a reason for this, but I just can't figure out what on earth that reason was. Hard to say, really. Yeah. I think including subtlety in your story will increase, like, subsequent readership. Because I think the one test for a story that it needs to pass is, like, how good is it on a second viewing? Because, like, that's ultimately art that will persist long before you've died. And, like, everything will persist, but, you know, more specifically things that will persist that you know, that people will remember. But yeah, it's always tricky. It's always tricky to find a balance. Always tricky. Right, we had this down here. There we go. I'm not going to draw Clive, actually I might draw Clive. Let's actually draw Clive. Because up until now I've just been drawing on a blank template. So what was I doing? Talking about writing good characters. Good question. How do you do that? Very tricky. Not a specific answer for that. I was gonna have the main character learn about an explosion of the fox population before founding of Fox Hill, but I wouldn't flat out say it was when the foxes first crossed over from the tunnel. Ah, I see. I see. What was the concept behind Pain Split? Oh yeah, splitting stories is definitely a skill. Definitely a skill everyone should develop. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Sorry if I'm being slow. I'm just kind of caught myself in a very weird spot where I'm thinking about a fight in chapter 4 while I'm busy designing a page for the intermission. Which is a very, very funky spot to be in. There we go. Sweet, something like that. Oh goodness, yeah, the Matrix Resurrections or whatever it's called. Yeah, I saw that. That was very weird. I was thinking to myself, oh no, it's probably going to be bad. But, like, I don't know. It looks like a reboot of the Matrix series, and it's like, okay, well. I was wondering when the nostalgia cycle would reach the early 2000s. Something like that. This is a very, very sloppy sketch, but we'll go and clean this up when we go and do the actual thing. Let's see. Yeah, it looks good enough. But look, you have to remember that the last film the Wachowskis have done, it was Jupiter Rising. So, keep that in mind whenever you, like, you know, whenever you think to yourself, this looks nice. Forgot about that one, did you? I don't blame you, I would've. You remember it pretty well? Oh, I'm so sorry.
computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Yep. Yes, where Channing Tatum plays part wolf, angel, alien thingy, pretty much. A winged wolf. It's so bizarre, honestly. Like, you gotta give credit to the Wachowskis. They create some really bizarre and fantastical worlds. But goodness gracious, is the writing about... They spend more time world building than they do writing their stories, in a weird way. Because, like, if you remember with the original Matrix, the second and third films went into, like, the lore of the Matrix. And, like, you know... So not only could humans inhabit the Matrix, but computer programs could also inhabit the Matrix. And, you know, the same thing happened in the third film, when you were having computer programs that were having families, that were existing in the Matrix, and saw the Matrix as a refuge, as well as, like, you know, the real world and the you know, everything that was happening with Zion, and the fact that Hugo Weaving had been born into the body of a person, so it was like Hugo Weaving. It's all very, very complicated, and that detracts from, you know, a lot of the opportunity for writing the actual story. A building and a half city blowing up in a chase, and for the next few hours nothing happened, and they say, don't worry, we'll repair everything. And people, yeah, of course. It's very odd. It's a very, very odd film. Very, very odd film. Anyway, alright though. I think we might leave it there, because goodness gracious, I'm getting a little bit, little tired. But yeah, it's been fun though. I think we've mostly finished everything. I'm just grappling with the decision of whether or not I should draw a prefect on a side view or on a front-facing view. But I'll come to that eventually. I think there is an advantage to have him being completely in the center. There's also an advantage to having him, like, looking on dead center. But yeah, I'll have to consider that. Alright. I think I know what I'm gonna do for the rest of this afternoon. What I'm probably gonna do is go back to the previous page, finish off things like shading, things like what's his face? Oh, as well as the food dye. I still have to finish off the dye. And like the fluid dynamics of all that. That's gonna be fun. Okay, but yeah, I think that's gonna be enough for me. Thanks so much for sticking around, by the way. Really does mean a lot, especially since everyone else kind of left. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This was a good stream though. We got a lot out of it. That's what matters. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Take care, Koo. Hopefully you have a nice rest of your evening. But yeah, I'm gonna go now. Toodles.